This is a Bosch Rexroth ctrlX Core X3 and X3 Plus, the main controllers in the ctrlX ecosystem. They are both compact industrial computers that run automation apps, control motion, handle data logging and much more. In this video, I'll show you how to get one installed, powered and connected. Hello, I'm Simon from the Inverter Drive Supermarket, and in this video we're setting up a Bosch Rexroth ctrlX Core X3. The X3 is supplied with a printed quick start guide, regulatory compliance notes and the unit itself. Before installation, let's take a quick look at the connectors and slots. At the top, the USB-C port can be used to connect external devices such as a flash drive, additional Ethernet adapter, Wi-Fi adapter or RS-232 communication module. It's host-only, so can't be used to connect the Core X3 directly to a laptop. The RJ45 port labelled XF10 is the Ethernet Engineering Port for connection to a PC. The default IP address is 192.168.1.1, but it can obtain one automatically via DHCP if available. We'll be using this port later in the video. The XF50 port is configured as an EtherCAT Master by default. Use this to connect to EtherCAT devices such as drives or I/O couplers. It requires the EtherCAT Master license. Without it, the port functions as a standard Ethernet connection. The XF51 port is an additional Ethernet engineering port. It doesn't have a default IP address, so needs to be connected to a network with a DHCP server. If you want to connect your X3 to an existing network or give it internet access, this is the port to use. The microSD slot can be used to update factory firmware, install a licensed dongle or expand the core's memory. At the bottom is the battery slot for the internal clock. It takes a CR1025 battery, which is supplied with the unit and typically lasts 3 years. Finally, we have the 24-volt DC power connector. To remove it, press the release catch at the top and swing it down. To fit it, hook the lower edge first, then swing it up until it clicks into place. That's the Core X3's hardware overview. Let's move on to installation. The Core X3 is designed for DIN rail mounting, so it simply clips into place. There's a release catch at the bottom if you ever need to remove it. The X3 requires a regulated 24-volt DC power supply. It typically draws around 0.5 amps with a maximum of 3 amps under load. However, if you're adding a bus coupler for I/O or using a Core X3 Plus, there are a few extra considerations. The bus coupler acts as a bridge between the Core X3 and the many available I/O modules. The Core X3 Plus integrates this coupler internally, allowing I/O modules to connect directly. Both the external coupler and the X3 Plus require two 24-volt supplies. UL powers the logic, the brains of the controller, and UP powers the peripherals, the downstream control voltage for the I/O. In practice, many installations use a single 24-volt supply for both, and yes, it works. However, Bosch Rexroth recommend keeping these supplies isolated. So ideally, you'd use two separate 24-volt power supplies. Alternatively, many installers use a MIR electronic micro module. It isn't fully isolated, but provides electronic protection, short circuit monitoring, and current limiting on each output. Here, I've labelled the outputs for UL, logic, and UP, peripherals. UL is limited to 4 amps and UP to 8 amps, as close as I can get to the recommended values in the manual. Once the wiring is complete, power up the system. The indicator on the front of the X3 flashes blue whilst it boots and turns solid green when it's ready. Now that the X3 is running, we can connect it to a laptop. Use the XF10 Engineering Port. That's the one with the screen icon at the top. Don't use any of the other ports. Connect it using a standard Ethernet cable. Next, we'll configure the laptop's network settings so that both devices are on the same subnet. In Windows 11, search for Network Connections and click on View Network Connections. In my case, the connection to the Core X3 appears as Ethernet 5. Right-click on it and select Properties. Highlight Internet Protocol version 4 and click Properties. Select Use the following IP address. The Core X3's default address is 192.168.1.1, and each device on a network must have a unique address, so we'll set our laptop to 192.168.1.2. The subnet mask of 255.255.255.0 fills in automatically. This allows addresses from 192.168.1.1 to 192.168.1.254 to communicate with each other. Click Save to apply the changes. Now we can open a browser and connect to the X3. I'm using Chrome, but any modern browser will work. In the address bar, type 192.168.1.1 and press Enter. If you see a certificate warning, that's normal. It's fine to continue. You'll then see the login screen, enter the default credentials, username Bosch Rexroth, password Bosch Rexroth, accept the terms, press enter, and you're in. Be sure to change the default password as soon as you log in. And you've successfully connected to your X3. That's it for this video. In the next one, I'll show you how to access the ctrlX App Store and how to install and license apps. Thanks for watching. I hope you found it helpful. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing, as we really appreciate your support. See you next time. This video is for educational purposes only. Always follow official manufacturer documentation and safety instructions.